Thank you very much. Distinguished colleagues, General Secretary Dr. Barry Jackdale, my running mate, Brigadier Mark Phillips, my brothers and sisters on stage, the wider PPP leadership, and you, our supporters and friends. But much more important, we, the Guyanese people. This evening, I want to address all our Guyanese brothers and sisters as your next president, as the person who will have the enormous responsibility of leading a team that must and will deliver to you. Brothers and sisters, 70 years ago, almost to the day, January 1st, 1950, the PPP was formed, and for a brief moment, yes, for a brief moment, Guyana was united. And oh, what we achieved when we were united. It is this party, the PPP, that brought us together as a people. And once again, we must take this opportunity and responsibility to do so again. The only difference is that this time we must forge a lasting result. It is this hope we must transform into reality. This reality must be based on respect, equal opportunity, and policies and programs that target the needs of all our people. Every Guyanese must see themselves as owning a part of the future. They must see themselves as included by firm action of the government. To achieve this, we commit to the creation of a framework that would bridge the inequality gap through social, economic, and political empowerment at every level of our society. We must have targeted investment that support the vulnerable groups in our society. Today, I stand here humbled by the opportunity to be president for all Guyanese. Humbled by your support on this journey to make life better and create a stronger Guyana. Like every human, I am not perfect. None of us can claim perfection. It is for this reason we must lift each other. We must make each other stronger by working together. Our weaknesses can make us stronger if we transform ourselves, our thinking, and our approach. And I assure you this, my personal approach, I assure you this is my personal approach to the future. Let no one divide us. Let no one sow the seed of disunity. We are in this together, and together we'll be victorious. Let us stop pulling each other down, and let us raise each other up. Let us not claim to be patriots and then pay a foreigner to come here to cuss up one of our citizens. No! Let us look out for each other. Let us protect each other. Let us have each other back. And it is only then that local content will protect us as a people, as a country. My brothers and sisters, in the next government, all of us must see ourselves as winners. There will be no losers, because the next government will make the same effort and take the same pride in the development of the life of every single Guyanese. Today, with your support, I commit to you that I will be a president for all our people. Not a president for friends and supporters alone, but a president that would work hard every day for the upliftment of every Guyanese. No Guyanese must be defined by where you live, how you look, or what political affiliation you have. Whether here or in the diaspora, we share the same home, and that home belongs to us equally. Let us give a big shout out to this home we share that belongs to us equally as Guyanese. I commit to be a president that would have the decency to respect the rule of law, uphold the Constitution, and promote democratic governance. As your president, no confidence is not nonsense that must be cured by constitutional reform. It is an important check and balance mechanism in a true democracy. It is to stop oppressive government. It is to protect the people. And that is why this government fell, because they became oppressive and because they trampled upon the people of this country. So we did it in Parliament. We give them the no confidence vote in Parliament. On March the 2nd, you will give them the people's no confidence when you evict them from office. Today, my brothers and sisters, I am not here to deliver promises, but I am here with this wonderful team to outline aspects of a clear plan and vision to take our country forward. A plan that is not only defined by oil and gas, but one that speaks to the holistic aspirations of the Guyanese people. One that seeks to secure, strengthen, and expand the economic base of our country. One that stimulates growth, open up opportunity, support our private sector, create jobs, ensure social justice, and access to public service to every Guyanese. Unlike David Granger, as a new generation leader, I am not stuck in the past. I understand the true meaning of transformation. This transformation cannot be achieved by those like Granger, because their mindset is stuck in stone. And that mindset cannot understand the reality and needs of a new Guyana. To transform our country, we must be able to transform our thinking, to transform our country, we must first transform ourselves. And look at what happened at Lane Avenue. Look at what happened in Sophia. Not one of the leaders in the PNC has condemned the action, because up to today, their minds and their hearts has not been transformed into what Guyana needs. My brothers and sisters, I may not have all the answers, but I'm committed to transforming myself to do whatever is necessary for all of Guyana to develop. I intend to be the person tomorrow whom you see today. Not one to make promise and then turn my back on our people and what I promised. Remember, they said they never promised the rice farmers. They never promised the sugar workers. They never promised the miners. They never promised the school children, because they never meant to do what they said. That is why they cannot account for it. Of course, they don't care. But in this team, you have a bunch of leaders that cares. And we are going to care for you and the Guyanese people. I will not be like the APNU AFC to trick and fool you, then go missing in action, or a president who is unable to lead or even articulate a vision for the country. I am not, and I will not be a president that surrounds himself by ministers who are incompetent and corrupt. The qualities of my leadership and the team will be defined by competence, integrity, experience, youth, and desire to serve our people, and not a privileged cabal that this government is doing now. Irfaan as president will not be David Granger of the APNU AFC. Irfaan will not take Guyana back to an economy where sugar workers, miners, foresters, clerks, skilled workers, young Amerindian, single mothers in the fishery sector, and young professionals are sent to the breadline. We will rescue the sinking ship called Guyana, whose captain is always sleeping at the wheels. And the sailors are fighting among themselves, pillaging the resources, as some even contemplate abandoning the ship. We have a clear understanding of where we want Guyana to be, and our strategies to take us there. Our vision for a modern Guyana is reflected in our manifesto. We have the experience to govern. We have a track record in managing the country resources. Yes, and my brothers and sisters, I want you to hear this. Yes, we have learned from our shortcomings. I have and will continue to reflect on how we can be a better government than we have been in the past. We are about bringing people together. No Guyanese will be left behind. And if you support the APNU AFC, it is not too late to join our program. We will look at constitutional reform that promotes great inclusion, national at both the national and local level. The Guyana we will construct will require the participation and energy of every single Guyanese. All must be involved. All will be involved because all must benefit. I want us to look at the future and never go back to the bitter past of our history. Therefore, your next government will be creating 50,000 jobs for the Guyanese people.
Unity, unity.
And these jobs will be across every single sector. Not only oil and gas, not only the downstream industry, but agriculture through investment in infrastructure that will promote mega farms. We must have an industrial revolution. We must support the manufacturing sector. And yes, tourism has enormous potential for us as a country. We must support the miners. We must support the forestry sector. We must never forget that the PPP Civic rode a global financial crisis and had positive growth for 10 years without oil and gas. You know why? Because we had competent leaders. We had competent managers as against the incompetence we have today. We are going to give incentives to the manufacturing sector, to forestry, to the productive sector. We're going to support them to return back to positive growth. We are going to support them to recreate jobs. We are going to support them to stimulate investment in the sector. We cannot support them by taxing them. We cannot support them by oppressive policies. We must ensure that our policies and our program promote the development of these sectors. We must secure the benefits of the oil and gas sector to ensure that the gains is spent on the improvement of the lives of every Guyanese. It must support job creation. It must improve social and economic infrastructure. It must facilitate tax reduction. Guyanese businesses and individuals and establish strong local content. Imagine this government is speaking about local content and they had to pay a foreigner to consult the General Secretary. Even in COSIN, they can't enforce local content. My brothers and sisters, local content can only work if the government provide a framework, if the government support the private sector in building itself, in protecting itself, in enriching itself so that it can make use of the benefit of the oil and gas sector. And this is what your government will be delivering through local content. We have to provide the training for our people so that they will be equipped with the necessary skills and they can also have the necessary certification to work in the sector. It is only then we can empower our people and our private sector to benefit truly from local content. My brothers and sisters, we must expand the physical infrastructure. That is why we will initiate work on several transformative projects. The Deepwater Harbor, the Linden to Lethem Road, the 4-lane highway from Georgetown to Timeri, the bridging of the Quarantine River, the high-span bridge across the Damra River, a tax-free zone, and the Parica to Rockstone Del Conte Road. These are the transformative projects that will open up new lands, that will open up new opportunities, that will create wealth, and that will grow the economic base of our country, that will expand the foundation on which our economy stands. We must provide cheap electricity. That is why we will complete the Milas Falls Hydro Project. We will not stop until your cost of electricity comes down by as much as 70%. Imagine what you can do for your families with a savings on a lower electricity bill, on a lower water bill. We must bring down the cost of electricity because we cannot be competitive in the manufacturing sector with the existing cost of power. That is why we have to have the perfect energy mix that is sustainable: natural gas, hydro, solar, so that we will have sustainable energy. And when we talk about energy, we must also support the expansion of the hinterland electrification program. These are the real changes, the real transformation that will bring real growth, real benefit, and real development. We must utilize our resources in a sustainable manner. That is why we will return to the low carbon development strategy that earned us hundreds of millions of US dollars. We must not kill what works. We must build on what works. We must push what works, because we don't have the time or luxury to go back all the time. That is why our focus is on moving forward. Our focus is on taking the people of our country forward. So my brothers and sisters, when APNU launched, I heard Ramjatan attack me personally. Let me say this: my mother taught me not to speak evil of the dead. Only speak good. But in the case of Ramjatan, there is no good to be spoken, so I will stay silent. And I also saw that one David Granger attacked me personally. Well, boy, my mother taught me well. And she also said, have respect for the elderly. So, Mr. Granger, I will respect you and I will send you to retirement in good stead. Well, he don't have to worry much because he has secured himself well. A very good pension. My brothers and sisters, our program is to connect every Guyanese to the future through access to cheaper data. We must transform ourselves technologically. We have to support more fiber optic cable terminating here so that we can reduce the cost of data and we can target jobs and investment in the ICT sector. There are tremendous opportunities, but we must have the framework. We must have the enabling environment that will attract those jobs and investment. And this is what your next government will be doing, ensuring we put the systems in place that will bring those investment to us. That includes liberalization of the telecommunications sector. What this will do for you is that it will reduce the cost of your data so that you can spend longer time in the nights talking to the ones you love. Our program is about improving the well-being of our people through improved health, education, social services, affordable housing. Imagine this government came to office and they said they will give everyone housing. To date, they have not developed a single new house lot. That is the track record. That is their track record that they're hiding from, that they cannot speak about. So my brothers and sisters, our program will create a future that is sustainable for our children, one in which they'll achieve their educational aspiration free of cost, one in which university education will become accessible to all the people of our country, regardless of where you're from, one in which young people will form an integral part of policy making. And let me say this, I intend to establish a National Youth Advisory Commission to the President, so that every day we can have new ideas. Every day we can have young people with their creative minds coming up with new ways in which we can improve our country. This is the future we are talking about. We are not talking about a fake news future. We are not talking about false promises. We are talking about real opportunities. We are talking about real development. We are talking about real progress. Because my brothers and sisters, you are real. So when they say life is good, you feel it every day in your pocket. You live it every day. You understand it because you know the hardship you feel. And my brothers and sisters, someone asked me in Region 1, where has all the money gone that this government has spent out? And them boys said that the money gone to a new bank. And the name of that bank is Pocketed. Pocketed. That is the new bank that the money gone to. So my brothers and sisters, as your president, when elected, I want a contract with every Guyanese. A contract that will improve your life, secure your livelihood, give opportunities to your children, one in which we can live in a safe and secure environment, one in which we can live our hope and aspiration, one in which we can live in dignity and pride, not one in which our dignity is taken away when they close the sugar estates, when they take away the forestry concession, and when they impose hardship taxes on people. Dignity is when you can provide for your family, when you can look your children in their eyes and say to them, I can give you a good future. Dignity is when you know, as a man and as a woman, that your future is secure and not subjected to a dictatorship or the wills and fancies of a government. Dignity will be restored under the next People's Progressive Party civic government. Now I have some messages. Mr. Granger, my conscience is clear. I know who I am. Hear me, Granger. It is clear on Walter Rodney. It is clear on the ballot box martyrs. It is clear with the sugar workers. It is clear with the miners. It is clear with the forestry workers. It is clear with the Amerindians. It is clear with the public servants and the farmers. My eyes refuse to separate us based on stoplight syndrome. My eyes refuse to separate us based on the colors of a stoplight. Let me put President Stranger on notice. The days of divisive politics are over. The days of divisive politics are over. And as much as you thump it down, we will kick it down. Let me tell President Stranger this. You cannot fake knowledge. You cannot fake experience. You cannot fake results. You can regurgitate fake news. But, President Stranger, show us your scorecard. Well, President Stranger, let me help you. Here is your scorecard in the last 5 years. We have lost 30,000 jobs. Forestry is at the worst it has ever been. Mr. Stranger, here is your record. Since you came to office, effective tax rate has increased from 36% to 53%. President Stranger has increased the effective tax rate to 53%. That is why you don't have money in your pocket. That is why the village economy is not working. That is why shops are closing. Because you are paying 53% of taxes today. This is your scorecard, Mr. Stranger. Mr. Stranger, our people today are consuming $29.7 billion less than they were consuming in 2014. You know what that means, President Stranger? That means that every single household in this country is spending on an average $161,000 less. That is why small businesses are affected. That is why every sector is affected. That is why less cell phone is selling. That is why less parts nut is selling. Because the disposable income of people is sucked up and taken out of their hands by this government. This is your scorecard. Credit to central government. Let me tell you this. The central government has increased its borrowing by 359%, whilst the private sector borrowing has only increased by 21%. Here is your record. Non-performing loan has increased by 13.3 billion or 76%. 63% of this is in the business sector. This is your record. This you must defend. This you must provide answers for. This we will hold you accountable for. And on March the 2nd, you will pay the price when we take you out of office. And you think that is all? You think that is all? My brothers and sisters, our infant mortality rate, that is babies dying, has increased by 17%. And under 5 mortality rate has increased by 40%. That is children under 5 that are dying. Children, babies are dying under this government. And for those babies and those children, we must take them out of government. My brothers and sisters, of course, Granger is unbothered. He's unbothered about crippling the sugar sector. But we care. That is why we're going to reinstate those estates and bring back those jobs and bring back life to those communities. You are unbothered about ensuring proper, workable, and meaningful local content. But we care. That is why we will have legislation and policies and programs that will promote true local content and give true opportunities to local private sector and individuals. You are unbothered about the increased cost of living and the hardship, but we care. That is why we'll remove those taxes, those more than 200 burdensome taxes, because we will give back to the people. We will give back to their pockets. We will give back to their families. We will give back to their communities. We will give back to this country. We will give back to Guyana. And we will be able to give back when we take back Guyana on March the 2nd. My brothers and sisters, you cannot talk about unity by referring to your countrymen and women as greedy. This thinking exposes their leader fixation on the past. He cannot think forward. He is unable to think forward. But Mr. Stranger, you are stuck in quicksand. Reach out your arms. I am coming to get you. Because I will lift you up. And I will pull you up. And I will give to you too the better future, the good future, and the better life in this country. My brothers and sisters, this is no longer about race. This is no longer about urban and rural. This is about Guyana. This is about our future. This is about our children. This is about our hope, our destiny. This is about our dignity. This is about making Guyana a better place for all Guyanese. And on March the 2nd, for all our comrades who have passed and all those who have struggled all their lives, for our comrade Dr. Roger Luncheon, for all these comrades, you will commit to a future that is better for every Guyanese. Brothers and sisters, we are not committing tonight to a future that is only better for PPP supporters. I want us to be the example. I want us to commit to a future that will be good and better for all our Guyanese brothers and sisters. At the end of the next 5 years, I will be back here to come to you because you will hire me. I will be here to report on my scorecard on the next PPP civic government scorecard. We will not hide. We will not go under the covers because we believe in what we say. Because we have a strategy and a plan. And we want you tonight to embrace this strategy and plan. As we walk together, hand in hand, forward we go. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? And on March the 2nd, we will show the world, and this is important. Remember the lesson of 1950. We must not be separated or let anyone separate us. And on March the 2nd, we will show the world that we will come back together in unity, come back arm in arm, ready to take on the rest of the world. Ready to hold the golden arrowhead high in the air. Ready in love and unity. Ready in togetherness. Ready in brotherhood. Ready, my brothers and sisters, for Guyana. Ready, my brothers and sisters, to put Guyana on the international map. Ready to let them know we can do it. We have the ability and we will use that ability to do it. My brothers and sisters, it is emotional because we have a choice between those who want to bring us together and those who still refer to you on the other side as greedy. It hurts because never in this modern day I shudder to think that we'll return to that kind of past. My brothers and sisters, join me today in this new transformational thinking, this new approach that must lift us up all together, onward together, forward together. We love you. God bless you. March the 2nd, PPPC.